Small business owners run up against an advertising problem all the time. They're bombarded with account executives that promise that their publication or their radio station or their digital marketing service is the one that will be the magic bullet that drives customers to their business. Well, over time, many small business owners are frustrated with their efforts. 80% of their media purchases don't seem to be bringing clients in the door at all. So what ad buys actually work for small businesses in a small market? Well, we've been doing a fair amount of research to come up with an answer to what we call the 20% question. What if a small business could spend most of their ad budget on the 20% that actually works? Well, recent studies are showing that a cross-platform campaign strategy is deadly effective. Print is by no means dead, and digital is by no means the only way to go. Things have just changed, and the strategies have to adapt. Print has moved over to make room for this explosive rise of digital media, and the truth is that digital media has some huge benefits. Digital media is inexpensive, it's exact, and it's interactive, but it can also come across as cheap and temporary. A few years back, Nielsen did a study that looked at the retail sector to see how U.S. consumers arrived at a purchasing decision. The results were astounding in this digital age. Believe it or not, more than half of the consumers surveyed said that they were more persuaded by printed circulars and direct mail than by digital ads. And then, get this, the leading metric for digital advertising was not social media or pay-per-click as you might think, but well-written, old-fashioned email campaigns followed up by a great website. So what can we learn from these studies? Well, none of these studies are showing that you should abandon your print marketing strategy for the sake of digital ads. You should change them, but not abandon them. Secondly, your business needs an effective printed advertising method, a great email marketing plan that's supported by a professional website. Now let's picture your marketing strategy like a train. The tracks that your train sits on is your branding, your brand, your logo, your corporate identity, the demographic that you serve, and then that's followed up by stationery, signage, uniform, listings, and so on. You need to develop those things before you ever put together a marketing campaign. Now, marketing is about getting people to look for you in the first place. So our research is showing that a large percentage of what's working right now for small businesses also happens to be three of the least expensive things that you can develop. Those three sources are print, email, and your website. Your print, your email, and your website are the main engines that drive a marketing campaign forward. The home for your brand and for your marketing efforts is your website. If you're taking your marketing seriously, your website should look really professional. It needs to be easy to navigate, rich in content, and maintained on a regular basis. WordPress is currently the preferred platform for most small business websites. Secondly, the research is still showing that direct mailers, circulars, postcards, magazine ads, and newsletters, those kind of print pieces are hugely effective if they're done properly. So at first, pick one and do one of those things really well. Write it well, design it well, and make sure that it's delivered to your target demographic at least one time per month. Change the artwork monthly. Don't let an ad go stale. Offer new limited time monthly specials. Depending on your industry, these print publications could be postcards, direct mail, every door direct mail, or EDDM. They could be circulars or coupon mailers. They could be a glossy local magazine or a trade magazine. It could be a newspaper, or you could write a newsletter. But don't just try something once. Commit to that thing for at least 6 months and then evaluate its effectiveness. Lastly, develop an email campaign that follows up with new clients and that retargets existing clients in order to invite them back to the business to make some additional purchases. MailChimp is a really easy to use and affordable tool for getting this done. Some credit card companies these days are also offering a free email retargeting service. If these basics aren't covered, there's really no reason to move on to other alternative methods of advertising. For some small businesses, especially for owner-operators, this could be all the more marketing you'll need to keep yourself booked. Now, I'm not going to have time today to unpack some of the more complicated media types like content marketing and pay-per-click and broadcast and so on, but let me offer you a few more words about how to make just your print, web, and email pieces work all together for you. Here are a few techniques to drive and to track customers from print to digital and vice versa. First thing is you need to track it. Here's what I mean. If you have an ad that's doing well, you need to know that. If you have an ad that's underperforming, you need to know that too. So if you have an underperforming ad, it's either because you're using the wrong type of media or it's because you have the wrong content. Either way, you need to know if you're getting visitors from your advertisements. So make sure to embed a way to track the traffic from your print ads. In your print advertising, use a URL, possibly with a QR code that's unique to that advertisement. Or you can use a phone number that you're able to track. Secondly, combine your direct mail with online content. Here's what I mean. Use these things together. Use together direct mail and digital can play to the strength of each. See, digital provides this modern edge and timeliness that print just can't offer. However, print provides a level of trust and stability that digital can't really offer. Additionally, direct mail and print pieces, they last longer. They're often left sitting out on a counter or on a desk for much longer than a digital ad or an email lasts on somebody's computer screen. Remember that direct mail doesn't have to face, junk filters or unsubscribe buttons, and it doesn't require anybody to opt in. When a message is coordinated across your digital and your print platforms, it can give your digital advertising a seemingly longer shelf life. Next, use your direct mail to direct people to your website. So use your print to direct them to the digital. There's this fascinating statistic that just came out that says that direct mail will direct 8% more people to a website than social media will. That seems counterintuitive, but print is really effective for driving digital. So make your website really robust. Make it easy to navigate. Make it full of useful information. Then use your print pieces to direct people to the great content on your site. Then on your site, make a great offer that requires people to enter in an email address to receive that offer. This powerful combination gives you the opportunity to retarget those leads through a high-impact email campaign later. Next, don't just raise awareness that you exist, but always include a call to action on every advertisement. See, a lot of advertisements that are out there are far too passive. They're designed primarily to just spread awareness about a company. Well, I'm a huge advocate of ditching awareness campaigns. Small businesses need to sell, and advertisements that sell always have a clear call to action. So if you want them to come into the store, invite them into the store. If you want them to take advantage of a sale, ask them to buy something. If you want them to pick up the phone and call you, give them a big phone number. When designing a print piece, ask yourself, what do you want people to do when they see this ad? See, people read about 7 words, then they look at pictures, and they might take one action. So don't waste your ad by making the call to action unclear. Lastly, coordinate your efforts. Now, at the top here, I put the rest of the marketing train. I didn't touch on social media or a number of other advertising opportunities. I just don't have the time today. As your organization grows, you could find yourself with 10 different account executives working for 10 different media organizations. Plus, you may have multiple designers and multiple producers. And listen, they'll never naturally be on the same page. So you need to coordinate your advertising efforts on a regular basis, or your advertising campaign will be scattered all over the place. Have creative meetings so your media staff remains on the same page all the time. And if all that seems overwhelming, that's where an agency can be really helpful. An agency will come in on a regular basis and make sure your message stays the same and effective. They'll help you to evaluate the effectiveness of your campaigns, and they'll help you to negotiate contracts. They also will typically have some reliable sources for design and copywriting and production services. During this presentation, I've talked entirely about your business, but let me end by talking a little bit about mine. Ablaze Media is currently the only agency in Prescott Valley that can coordinate your print and digital media together. It's the only one that we're aware of. Our professional web designers and print designers can create pieces to help you look more professional, and that will help drive business to your company. Our agency services will help you get the most out of your advertising dollar. So if that interests you, then let's connect up in the next couple of weeks. At Ablaze Media, we believe that excellence deserves attention. It's our goal to help top-tier small business owners get noticed in a noisy advertising environment in this digital age.